the art of doing nothing. A phrase that sounds like laziness in a world obsessed with productivity, but in reality, it's one of the deepest lessons of Zen. We live as if every second has to be monetized, optimized, posted, but in this marathon to prove we are alive, we forget to actually live. Chuangzi once said, "Happiness is the absence of striving for happiness." Think about that. We chase 1,000 goals, accumulate tasks, measure ourselves by likes and salaries, but when was the last time you just sat in silence watching the sky change color without needing to take a picture of it? Doing nothing isn't wasting time, it's regaining control of it. In anime like Mushishi or moments in Naruto when the characters just sit under the stars, we glimpse that sacred pause. The world is still turning even if you are not pushing it. Zen masters say the mind is like muddy water. If you keep stirring it, it never clears. But if you let it rest, suddenly the water becomes transparent. That's the paradox. Only when you stop, you actually begin to see. Doing nothing is not a denial of life, but the only way to feel its texture. When you sit in a park, in your room, or even in front of your window with no agenda, the silence is uncomfortable at first. Your brain screams, check your phone, make a plan, move, produce. But if you resist, something strange happens. The world gets bigger. You start hearing the hum of the fridge, the laugh of a child on the street, the wind brushing your skin. Those micro-sensations are what existence really is. Seneca wrote that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. And wasting here doesn't mean not working, it means not noticing. The paradox is cruel. We waste our lives chasing the illusion of not wasting it. Western cinema shows this too. In Fight Club, Tyler Durden screams, "This is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time." The rebellion wasn't against work itself, but against a life so full of things that it had no room left for silence. Doing nothing is rebellion. In a world where burnout is glamorized, being still is a revolutionary act. It's the refusal to let your life be reduced to a checklist. Zen calls it wu wei, effortless action. It doesn't mean apathy, it means letting the flow of the universe carry you instead of constantly fighting against it. When you stop doing, you start being. And that's terrifying for many because being means confronting yourself without distractions, without masks, without notifications. Doing nothing is meeting the real you, and that's why people fear it more than death itself. And here is where the secret hides. Doing nothing is not about sitting like a stone for the rest of your life. It's about creating an inner space where life can finally breathe. Look at Spirited Away, when Chihiro and Haku ride the train in complete silence with nothing happening, no dialogue, no rush, just the weight of existence pressing gently on the screen. That scene teaches more about presence than 1,000 motivational books. Doing nothing is letting the train of life move while you stop obsessing over the destination. Alan Watts once said, "Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone." The mind, when left without constant interference, begins to clean itself. You notice that the anxiety that once consumed you doesn't disappear because you fought it. It disappears because you stopped feeding it. Doing nothing reveals the truth. The universe doesn't need you to function. The sun rises without your alarm clock, the trees grow without your reminders, your lungs breathe even when you forget them. This is not insignificance, this is freedom. Because if the world flows without you, then you are free to flow within it without the weight of control. Imagine your guts in berserk, covered in scars, always fighting, until that one night when he just sits with Casca, watching the stars. That fragile moment where the sword rests and silence becomes shelter is proof that the pauses are as essential as the battles. Doing nothing is remembering that the meaning of life is not in conquest, but in presence. It is the courage to embrace boredom because boredom is just the threshold of self-discovery. Most people run from it, drowning it with screens and noise, but those who sit through it realize boredom transforms into clarity. The art of doing nothing is the art of becoming infinite in a single moment. When you release the illusion that your value depends on your productivity, you finally taste freedom. Not the freedom sold by ads, but the freedom of existing without justification. And maybe, just maybe, that is the highest wisdom Zen has been whispering for centuries. When you stop rushing to live, life finally comes to meet you.